My girlfriend made me feel ashamed by my gift giving after she gave me my birthday gifts. I just suck at giving gifts. I've been with my girlfriend for a year now because we became official around the time of my birthday. And last year we were really recent, so I wasn't really expecting anything, but she was still so sweet. She baked me a birthday cake, so she didn't really spend money on me. This time I also wasn't expecting anything really. I don't really care about gifts, and neither does she, I think. But she still managed to gift me really thoughtful gifts. A wallet, because my old one was falling apart, and a box of my favorite chocolates. The wallet was great because it's really not something I would ever replace myself, and it's such a nice gesture since I didn't really even ask for it, but she noticed the state my old one was in. Lol. The new one is pretty much a copy of my old one. Has everything I want in a wallet. A place to hold my cards, my money, and a coin holder, all in one. And it must have been quite pricey since it's good quality. And the box of chocolates, I mentioned it to her like once or twice, it was my favorite, but she remembered. And all of it was wrapped neatly, and you could tell she really put everything together mindfully. I feel bad because on her birthday a month ago, I got her underwear. Not even lingerie. Just cute panties and a bra. I know, I suck. All in paper bag shut with a staple. I just wish I was more observant and I could pick up on stuff she actually needs and wants, you know? But she's not really one to talk about what she wants. So unless she explicitly tells me, I don't know how to read between the lines. To clarify, she hasn't said anything to me about it. She seemed happy about what she got for her birthday, but I'm sure she was disappointed. Because I also say I don't really want anything for my own birthday, but I can't lie that it was pleasant to be given a gift like that. Oh, and for Christmas she was also really practical. I bought a house earlier last year, so it was freshly furnished with no decorations, so she got me 2 pieces of decoration for the living room. And I got her a giant stuffed animal. I don't know, I feel really bad about it. Wanted to make it up to her, but I'm sure she'll be weirded out if I got her anything nice now out of the blue. And it's not like I would know what to gift her in the first place. Now this is unpopular, but you don't even know her enough of what she likes to give her. Like, this isn't an observance issue, but more like how much you know. I know, I suck. All in paper bag shut with a staple. I just wish I was more observant and I could pick up on stuff she actually needs and wants, you know? But she's not really one to talk about what she wants. So unless she explicitly tells me, I don't know how to read between the lines. What is this woe is me shit? Grow up and learn how to pay attention to your girlfriend's interests and wants. You sound like some pathetic sad sack. Oh. I wish I could just pay attention, but I'm a self-absorbed man-child. Grow up. Giving someone a gift in a stapled paper bag is so thoughtless, and you deserve to be called out for it. Why don't you know what to get her? Haven't you been dating her for a year? What are her hobbies? Favorite movies? Favorite TV show? Favorite candy? Does she need anything like a new coat for winter? A new bag? The notion that you are just bumbling around and don't know anything about her means that you either a. Have some sort of issue with listening and observing other people, or b. That you don't care. So which is it? Like, a friend of mine was watching The Mandalorian with his girlfriend and got her some Star Wars stuff for her birthday. That obviously included a Baby Yoda plush toy. She loved it. Don't sit there and pretend that you just have no idea what to get your girlfriend. Did you tell her explicitly that your wallet was falling apart and you'd like a new one? No? How do you think she cracked that mystery? Gift giving isn't hard. You just have to spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it and resist the urge to get the first thing that pops into your lizard brain, plain old panties? Dude. You have a few months until Christmas. You can spend the next 16 weeks thinking about gift ideas. You can ask questions when you think you have a good idea. Please ask. Because as we now know, your good idea might suck. Lol. If you'd like help, there's no shame in enlisting her BFF, sister, mom. I've been with my girlfriend for a year now. The entire second paragraph. I feel bad because on her birthday a month ago, I got her underwear. Not even lingerie. Just cute panties and a bra. I know, I suck. All in paper bag shut with a staple. And it's not like I would know what to gift her in the first place. People who aren't at the very least thoughtful, aka the bare minimum, have no business being in a relationship. Like, come the fuck on, bro. It's not that hard. In a paper bag. Shut with a staple. What the hell, lol. Why would you not at least wrap it properly? I understand giddy giving can be hard, but why would you put it in a stapled paper bag? Is that what you think she deserves? For the gift itself, just ask her or her friends. My boyfriend has given me gifts I don't like at all, but the effort he's put in picking it, wrapping it and making a card is the important part. I personally write down anything he mentions he likes on my phone and save it for later. You don't have to have the perfect gift to show effort. The reason why I'm on this sub. To appreciate how great I have it and how much better my boyfriend is compared to these sad, thoughtless, loser men who think it's acceptable to give meaningless gifts in a stapled paper bag and then have the audacity to throw themselves a pity party for how thoughtless they are. Thanks for the perspective relieved face. My wife thinks neighbor's child is mine. This might be a long one, but yeah. My wife, 26 female, and I, 26 male, have been together for 3 years and married for a year and a half. She moved in with me and we live next to a single mother of now 2 kids. My wife and I have never wanted children, and that doesn't plan to change, at least for me. No hatred for kids in general, but we aren't interested in parenting them. Our neighbor's son, 9 male, and I have a good relationship. We have similar interests, so we get along well, and I used to help coach his soccer team a couple years back. Our close relationship obviously means that I have interactions with his mother, but nothing out of just civilities since I spend time with her child. Anyways, our neighbor recently gave birth and sent me a picture of them, newborn, her son, in hospital, and asked me how the name, Jane, obviously fake, sounded. I showed my wife and she didn't really have a reaction, so I left her and just wished our neighbor well and promised to keep an eye on her dogs. The next day she asked me to fetch her from hospital and drop her off at her parents', same city. This morning my wife asked me out of the blue whether or not this was my child because she found it weird that our neighbor would send pictures of them to me and ask my input on the name. Though in my opinion it wasn't asking for input more than wanting me to say it was nice, and ask me to drive her to her parents. In case it was unclear, this is definitely not my child, and I told my wife that. She kept asking why she'd do all the above if I was just friends with her son and wasn't happy with me saying I didn't know. I repeated that it wasn't my child and said something about being comfortable with hypothetically being tested. She said that wasn't a bad idea. I said that's an awkward request to a neighbor. She thinks I'm backtracking because I'm scared of the results and now we're not talking. Should I just ask our neighbor to do a test to get it over with or what? She's been cheated on before and I don't want this to be the hill I die on, but that is just so awkward. TLDR, friends with neighbor's child. Neighbor recently gave birth to another and sent pictures and asked me to give her a lift to her parents, and wife thinks this means I'm the dad. I do think it's a little strange for your neighbor to be asking you to do these things for her, but I'm guessing it's because she doesn't really have any other help. But to me the biggest flag here is that your wife doesn't trust you, so much so that she wants to get a DNA test. That's crazy. I think the neighbor lady has glommed onto a nearby supportive man in her life without either of them considering that excluding his wife is a bad call in several ways. It doesn't look good, and the neighbor lady has lost a potential friend and ally in the wife. The most positive spin I can put on it is that maybe neighbor lady is shy, with other women, and has been waiting for an invitation to meet his wife. If I was your neighbor, I would not be okay with this. But then I also wouldn't be asking you to drop me off to my parents. Why can't they pick her up? Back to you and your wife. You need to talk. A lot. She needs to be able to trust you without asking for such drastic proof. Wait. Why didn't her parents pick her up at the hospital? Why are you this woman's support team? Where is the dad of this newborn? You said you're just casually friendly with her son, yet when she gives birth she is texting you photos, asking your opinion on the name, and you're literally picking her up from the hospital? This is red flag city. I completely side with your wife here. Jesus, no, you shouldn't ask the neighbor for a test. That's an insane idea, and your wife needs to either believe you, or just ask the neighbor herself, making a fool of herself obviously. Your wife's request for a DNA test might be ridiculous, but your neighbor's requests are also ridiculous. You say you have interactions with his mother but just out of civilities, yet what you describe is so way beyond that. It seems like you're having trouble identifying appropriate boundaries. Bringing a woman home from the hospital who just gave birth isn't something neighbors just do for one another. I would try assessing which interactions you have with your neighbor are normal and which aren't, and then discuss with your wife that you now understand her POV but you think a DNA test is too extreme. This story is so weird. I don't blame your wife for believing you fathered this baby, because frankly even I am doubting that you didn't father this baby. Where's the actual father? Why is she getting you to pick her up from the hospital after giving birth? You have a friendship with her 9-year-old son? I get that you used to coach him, but this close relationship is extremely odd. If the fathers of her children aren't in the picture, this woman is being extremely inappropriate and has made you into a sort of surrogate father. No wonder your wife is upset. This woman is openly disrespectful to your marriage and you're disrespecting your wife by having tolerated and enabled this behavior. Cut this woman out of your life and stop playing daddy to her children." Dude. Who the fuck is the baby daddy? My girlfriend, 25 female. Strange fetish confuses me, 30 male. So my girlfriend has always been shy. I love her but always wished she was more comfortable with her body. She doesn't like to show herself and would never take nudes of herself, and I dealt with that and respect it. A while ago she came up with an idea. She said she wanted me to see her but in a way that she could pretend not to know. Her suggestion was to have me watch her through her window. I thought it was weird but she assured me she wanted it, so I did it. Looking back she phrased this like a new idea but I think she just liked the idea all along. For a while, whenever she would get dressed she would tell me, I'd go outside, and she would leave her curtains open and put on a show. She would get annoyed if I was too obvious and I figured it was a good way to help her get confident and maybe work her way towards being comfortable getting nude in a more traditional way, so I went along with it. Plus she is gorgeous and it's better than nothing. Over time she'd put on less of a show and act more like she didn't know I was there. I thought she was losing interest in it, and then she said I should record her or take photos. It escalated and now she will get me to prop my phone somewhere and leave it recording, or she will get changed in the same room and tell me to turn around but then get upset if I don't record her, thinking I'm losing interest in her. But she still doesn't send me anything or let me see her normally. It's been well over a year and she'll get upset if I don't want to watch her but she also won't let me just watch her openly? During sex she loves to be blindfolded, which I think is more normal, but will sometimes want to RP that I'm her neighbor or brother. She doesn't have one, creeping into her room. She just loves the idea of being watched by someone who shouldn't be. I've tried looking up her creep show, what she calls it, fetish online, and can't really find much about women being into this. She likes to focus on the more creepy aspects, and a big part for her is the idea of not knowing I'm there. I just want to know, is this something I should be worried about? And #X200B. Too long did not read. Girlfriend likes being creeped on and gets upset if I don't want to but want openly get naked in front of me. If you still watch her through the window. If a neighbor or so sees you it can be pretty dangerous for you, if they call the police. They could suspect you to be a peeping Tom or stalker or even worse. Everyone has their kinks. Maybe you're not compatible sexually if you don't quite enjoy them. It's up to you to decide if this is a dealbreaker or not. Everyone has their kinks. She probably feels very comfortable with you to explore this role-playing. If you ever feel uncomfortable, please speak up. Just make sure everything is an ongoing conversation and it should be fine. This kink has the potential to be disastrous for you. She is a voyeur. My fiancé is one. It's the thrill of doing something risky while the risk of being discovered is high. My fiancé will sometimes go commando while wearing a knee-length dress on our night outs, and she will randomly tell me while we are sitting in a busy restaurant or watching a movie. Once she full-on made out with me while our parents sat in the other room, like full-on got naked and started making out, and we are from India, so it's not very common. If you do this, please be careful. Because neighbors also get her recorded consent on video where she is sober and she says she approves, encourages, needs this activity. If I were a guy, I'd be scared to do anything like this without proof that she said it's okay. If she likes role play, why don't you pretend you're a doctor or sex therapist and start trying out new stuff, or ask her what else she wants. First, establish with her if this is a fetish or a kink. Do some research. Fetishes are necessary for sexual gratification, while kinks turn you on but aren't necessary all the time. Update. I was an affair baby. I talked to my siblings. It was my brother who told me we needed to talk. Apparently after the birthday party one of his daughters approached him and asked why they needed to be nice with me when I was the reason their grandparents' marriage broken. My brother was shocked because neither my sister or him told their kids any of this. They weren't aware of the circumstances of my birth. My brother asked who told them that and she told him it was her mom and grandma. My brother is very angry at my sil and his mom. He already talked to them and his wife told him she disapproved me. She saw it as betrayal to her mill and doesn't understand why my siblings would want to be around the representation of their family falling apart. Plus to her this is as if my brother is enabling cheating and somehow becomes him in a pro-cheating. Their moms on the other hand told him that at first when my siblings informed her their desire to meet me she thought she will be okay with it, but after seeing me she realized she hated me more than she thought. She told him she was well aware of my dad cheating on her but thought he would never leave her. She just thought eventually my dad would get bored of my mom and that would be the end of it. Turn out my mom got pregnant and my dad asked the divorce. Hence the reason she saw me as the reason her marriage broke. That explains why she wasn't uncomfortable being around my dad in family gatherings and even was nice to him. All this time she hoped that showing my dad how generous and good person she was, my dad would leave my mom and I, and return begging forgiveness. Anyway, my siblings told me any of this wasn't my fault and they actually like me and want me in their life. I'm already 21 and they already feel they lost a lot of time. So they told me to not to worry because they will handle this. They suggested therapy to their mom and because this is really fucked up and my brother needs to work things out with his own wife. I guess is good enough. He should tell his wife that you are not a thing that resulted from an affair. You are a person that should be judged on your own actions. You never cheated on anyone. I'm sorry that you were caught in the middle of all of it. It's not your fault for what happened between your father and his ex-wife. I'm glad that you're looking at it in a positive way and the fact that your half-brother and half-sister was very welcoming was quite nice. I really hope that the mom would consider going to therapy. I don't support cheating, but it's not fair for you if they treated you badly due to something that is literally out of your control. Thanks for the update. I'm glad your brother and sister have your back. Your original post had me a little worried because I read it as your stepsister inviting you to the party without asking the bro. Hopefully everything can continue to improve. Again, you are not responsible for your father's actions. Their mother has a lot of unresolved issues that I feel requires professional help. Projecting his faults on you is not right and something your siblings don't agree with as well. I'm just glad your siblings don't think like them and want you in their lives. All you can do is ignore the mother as well as the rest of them. You've probably been told this, but it is important that you are told again. This is not your fault. It's really awful that the father and his side piece destroyed their family, but for her own good their mom should get therapy. I hope she gets better. Your parents are awful people but you shouldn't suffer for their assholery. The sister-in-law was out line but I understand their mom. She should not be subjected to her husband's affair child. Sorry op, no offense to you, it's not your fault. Your siblings need to hang out with you without her around.